Hello, everybody, and welcome to my course, Are You an Empath? So, this is just a small little course, just a taster session, really, to help people to understand whether they're an empath or not. So, I've known I'm an empath for 16 years, something like that. I was working before that clairvoyantly, doing readings and everything, but I didn't quite understand why, how, who, all of the logistics of it. So I started studying at great detail around about 16 years ago. And what I learned was absolutely amazing, really. I learned a lot about myself. And for the first time in my life, so I was, 33, something like that. For the first time in my life, I knew who I was and I understood myself. And it changed my life, completely changed my life, finding out who I was. So, empaths are people who are sensitive. Empaths are people who can pick up on the energy of others. Now, there's different levels of empaths and there's different types of empaths. And some people will learn that they're an empath and then they'll kind of leave it there and they'll run around the world saying how they've been cursed by having this empath ability, because there's no two ways about it. It has a detrimental effect on your life until you know what you're doing. So if you really kind of start to learn to know what you're doing with it, you can hone in on the tiniest little thing, and you can really work with this in a massive way. You can really change your life and navigate your life into whatever it is that you choose it to be, really. Because whilst being an empath can be really difficult, because we're going to pick up on people's stuff, aren't we? And we're going to have all of that negative. What people tend to forget is we're also going to have all of that positive. So my training is all about teaching unaware empaths how to become aware empaths, and how to kind of fine tune your abilities to make your life the best it can be. So how do we know if we're an empath? This is the question. Well, first of all, do you tend to change when you've been around somebody? So let's say, for instance, you start the day, here I am, I'm feeling this way. Let's say you're feeling happy and you're feeling vibrant and you're feeling full of life and ready to go, woohoo. And then you will spend some time with somebody and all of a sudden everything's changed. Your perception on things have changed. What you want from the day has changed. Your emotional state has changed. That is one of the biggest signs that you are an empath. Do you feel like you get drained a lot by people? People that have got a lower vibration, and we'll speak about vibration in other videos. But do you find that you get drained? Do you find that you can have quite a lot of energy and you spend some time with someone and then all of a sudden you zonked, you've really got no energy? And the same for if you go into a large area, a place where there's a lot of people, you feel like you've been drained and you kind of just like, oh God, I'm tired out now. That's another sign that you're an empath. Do you just know what people are thinking? Do you just tend to know what someone walks in and you kind of like, you know what? No, I don't think the words that are coming out of their mouth are actually matching what's going on within their energy field. I don't think it's true. Do you just know that? You don't know, but you just don't know how, but you just know it. Another sign that you're an empath. Do you tend to walk into a room and this doesn't feel right? Everybody's smiling, everybody's talking, everybody's saying the right words, but this just doesn't feel right. That's another sign you're an empath. I mean, these are only a few of the signs you're an empath, because this is a huge thing. It's not something that we can just briefly cover with little things. There is so many different sort of ways of identifying that you're an empath. Also, do you find that you kind of know what someone's thinking or what they're going to say next? Do you find that, okay, I've spent time with this person, it's almost like I can feel that they actually, what they're saying to me, it isn't really what they want to do. They want to do something completely different. Again, another sign. These are just some of the signs of being an empath. There are plenty more. And when you get really deep into it and you start studying your empath ability at a deeper level, then that's when we start looking at, okay, hold on a minute, then I can hear your thoughts, I can see what you're thinking, I can see what your memories, I can feel your emotions. There is so many things that an empath can do, which is absolutely amazing. so many things, but you've just got to learn to fine tune this first, and you've just got to learn to understand yourself first, and understand, you know, the highs and the lows, if you like, of being an empath. So how do we protect ourselves as an empath? It's not as easy as we would like it to be, because what happens is, what an empath does is we absorb energy. So we are going around all over the place, you know, and we are absorbing your energy. We are taking your energy and we are making it part of our own reality, and it's living within our energy field. So part of the protection of being an empath really is to make sure that you're putting up psychic protection. Now, it's not going to fully take that away, but it's going to dampen down the experience, if you like. You're gonna pull in less, you're going to absorb less. So that's one of the things that we can do as an empath. Another thing is to keep our energy high, really keep our energy high. So, you know, crystals, making sure that you're having a lot of self-care, whether that be massaging, whether it is, you know, going to the gym, whether it's going swimming, whatever it is that helps us to keep our energy high and not sluggish. Because what happens is, when our energy gets sluggish, our aura stops spinning to the degree that it spins. And when our aura stops spinning, things can attach to it. So if we're keeping our energy high and we're allowing for us to do all them things that make us, our energy good, it still spins. So yes, we will absorb a little bit, but not everything can attach. So that's something which is really, really important for an empath, is self-care. It's also a knowledge of self. You need to learn to understand self. So you need to learn to understand what is too much for you. Like for me, for instance, if I go for a meal, or I go to someone's house, if I sit down and I sit on the chair and I'm there for over a certain amount of times, it's all over for me, because I know that I'm going to absorb that to the degree that then bang, okay, it's going to take some healing work now for me to remove all of that energy. So it's about understanding yourself and learning to identify what type of empath you are, how honed in your abilities are, and learning, okay, I've got a bit of a time period here, got a little bit of a time period. You know, if I go more than 15 minutes doing something specific, it's going to kind of sort of affect me a little bit. So it's learning this and it's adapting yourself around it. And whilst it might sound like, well, hold on a minute, this empath business is all about what you've got to protect yourself from, and, you know, all the things that are going to come in and cause you difficulty. Yes, that's what we're talking about right now. But in my book, Empath Rising, and in my courses that I offer, my more detailed courses, it teaches you how to become that high level empath that can really, really kind of sort of navigate your life into the place of what you want your end result to be. And this can almost get magical, guys, if I'm going to be honest with you, because you've got the ability, if you think about it carefully, you've got this ability to not only just mess about in people's energy, but you've got this ability to create energy and connect to energy that the eye can't see as well. But all of this is in my courses. But yeah, it's an exciting thing to find out that you're an empath. And yes, it can be a little scary at first, but if you really truly look at the actual deal that you're getting, you're definitely coming out better off, not worse off. So I've got courses up, guys. They're all on my website or my app, Soul Seekers. It's soul-seekers.com. So you can purchase the courses. There's a few little free courses on there, and there's also a community area where we all get together and you kind of get content every week of what you can learn. We do guided meditations, we do all sorts of stuff on there. So this basically can be, if you want it to be, can be your journey to becoming whatever it is that you want. Whatever it is that you want, guys, that is something which I can teach you to learn the skills in order to create that. So you all have an amazing day, and I hope to see some of you inside of my platform and in my community.